And so one of the things I begin to think about is there's certain relationships in my life that I would say, okay, I'm loyal in this relationship because I love this person so much. I will always be loyal to them. And I'm only disloyal in these relationships because I'm not that connected to that person. But God brought up to my attention something that happened. We went to Florida, and some of y'all told me where it was. I can't remember now. We went to this Spanish fort thing in Florida, and we went. It's like a museum deal. I don't know if any of you have ever been to it. Fort Pickens. That's right, Fort Pickens. Thank y'all for sending that to me mentally. And so we go to Fort Pickens, and we're going to, adventure around this thing. You may not know this. I'll tell you this on the front end. I'm absolutely irrationally claustrophobic. I mean, literally. When I say irrational, I cannot talk myself out of it. It's not like something's like, hey, just calm down. You'll be fine. No, I'm like a terrorist. You're not talking me out of it. I'm going to blow the whole place up no matter what because I'm that claustrophobic. So we go to Fort Pickens. I don't think a fort's going to be a place where your claustrophobia is going to be tested. Oh, but was I wrong? Absolutely. So we get to this place, and this lady's telling us about, just look around. You can play with the cannons and everything. I'm like, that's okay, whatever, cool. We'll climb on the walls and all that stuff. I'm like, that's great. She says, and by the way, there's tunnels where you can go from, like the front battle area to the back battle area. That's how they would send soldiers around. So if they ever got overrun, they could go to their fallback position through these tunnels. And I'm like, I ain't going to no tunnel. I can promise you that's not going to happen. The word tunnel means don't go, Scott. So we get to this tunnel, and I'm like, they said, well, here's the tunnels. Well, look, it's huge opening. I mean, you could drive a car into it. I was like, I could probably do that. It's dark, but it's ginormous. And I'm thinking this fort's not that big. So I'm talking, 50 steps? And you're going to come out into the daylight on the other side. So I gather up all the courage that I can, and I talk the voices down in my head, and we take off in this tunnel. Now, my mom's with us. We used to do family vacations, so we brought her with us. My mom has COPD and some other breathing issues and stuff, and so she's kind of getting along slow. And I said, Mom, come on, I'll walk with you. And so we go into this tunnel, and as we walk into the tunnel, it's huge. Like I say, you could have driven a train into it, but as you go along, the tunnel starts narrowing. You know what I'm saying? And at first, I'm using my phone flashlight because that's the only light in there. Now, this is a museum that they charged money for, and they got no light in there. No warning signs. This is, hey, listen, if you're not into spelunking and junk, don't go in here. None of that stuff. So we walk into this place, me and my poor old mom, wheezing along. And so here we are, and we keep walking through this thing, and it keeps narrowing. And at first, I'm like, hey, we're going to get through it. And I keep telling myself, hey, we're about to come out the other side. We've gone felt like 10 miles. We're in a whole nother state. I'm like, it's fixing to come out. You're going to see daylight, and we're going to walk out, and everything will be fine. But we kept going, and just ever so gradually, the tunnel would just step down, like every 5 or 6 steps. It's like, no big deal, until finally we're like this, walking. And it's like, shut the front door. It's like here, and it's like here. And no longer can Mom and I walk side by side. She's now behind me, which is like not a good place to be when someone's about to bolt and run. And so we keep walking, and it gets so narrow. I'm not making this up. It's like this. It's touching us on both sides, and I'm not going to get as low as we were, but we're like almost duck walking. And the voices in my head are screaming, run out, do not stay. And Mom's behind me, she's hitting her little puffer, and so I'd say, are we about out? I'm like, I don't know, Mom. They led us into this death trap. And I hear people behind her that got a northern accent. I'm like, they won't know to get out of the way. And so I've got my phone flashlight on, and finally we hit the end of the tunnel, and I'm thinking, this is where it's going to start stepping up, and guess what happens? It's a freaking wall. They've walled it off. Dead end. I'm like all the way on my knees, and it's on both sides of me, and there's this wall. I could have chewed through it with my teeth. I was so panicked. I'm not making this up. In my mind, I was already, because Mom's behind me still talking. She can't breathe, but she can talk. And she's like, hey, how much further is this going to be? We're at the end of it, Mom. They decided to end this tunnel right here. And I told her, I said, hey, Mom, and as calm as I could be, because in my mind, I'm already rehearsing my alibi, because when they drag her body out, it's got footprints all over it, where I stomped her getting past her. I'm thinking, here's what I'm going to say, So anyway, I tell Mom, I said, Mom, you got to turn around. And Mom's both hips are touching the walls. I'm not knocking her. I'm just saying that's how it was. She said, I don't think I can. I can't, what's happening inside of me, I can't even put into words. I'm so messed up. And I said, Mom, you gotta do whatever you can do to turn around. I was tempted to grab her puffer and throw it further down so she'd be forced. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the puffer, so we're going to get out of here. She finally turned around, and we told the other people that they were coming in there. I was like, turn around! Nothing to see down here. So anyway, we got out of there. I use that long story to tell you this. There's a certain margin for loyalty that we have in our life, and no matter how deep the relationship is, there's a limit to it, right? For me, it was claustrophobia. I would kill my mother over claustrophobia, all right?